All right, so get ready, because today we are going deep into Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
Ooh, Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, we've got excerpts straight from the book itself.
Awesome.
And we've even got snippets from the foreword
Interesting.
that actually shed light on Hill's own journey.
That's always fascinating to see the author's own path,
Yeah.
especially someone who is, writing about success.
Exactly, yeah. And this is not going to be just another book report.
I was going to say beyond the summary.
We're going beyond the surface.
Yes.
Right? We are going to uncover those core principles.
Those gems.
That Hill champions. And trust me, the stories.
Oh, yeah.
And the examples that he uses.
The examples are incredible in this book.
To bring those ideas to life, they're truly captivating.
They really are. What really struck me about Think and Grow Rich is that it's not just a how-to manual.
It's so much more than that.
It's a deep dive into the mindset.
Yes.
And the belief system
Yep.
that lay the groundwork for success.
Yep.
Hill doesn't just stop at telling you what to do.
Right.
He takes you on a journey to understand why these principles work.
Exactly. And right out of the gate,
Oh, yeah.
Hill tackles that foundation.
Which is
Desire.
desire.
He argues that without a burning desire to achieve something,
Yes.
you're essentially starting a fire with wet wood.
You need that spark.
You need that spark. And to really hammer this home,
Yeah.
he uses a brilliant example, Edwin Barnes,
Ah, great example.
and his unshakable determination
Unshakable.
to work with Thomas Edison.
Not for him, with him.
Not just for him.
Huge difference.
Right, it's a crucial distinction.
It is.
Barnes didn't just want a job at Edison's company.
Right.
He envisioned himself collaborating
With Edison himself.
with Edison himself, one of history's greatest inventors,
Absolutely.
even with those obstacles staring him in the face.
Oh, yeah. There were plenty.
He didn't know Edison personally.
Yeah.
He lacked the funds
Didn't have the money to travel.
to even travel to meet him. Barnes's desire was so intense
Yeah.
that it fueled him to find a way.
It really did.
He literally showed up at Edison's lab,
I love that. Just shows up.
ready to do whatever it took
Amazing.
just to be in that electrifying environment.
To be in that energy, in that space.
It's like Barnes used his desire as this compass, right?
Yeah.
Guiding his actions.
When the path was unclear.
Even when the path ahead was shrouded in fog, you know?
You'll love that analogy.
It makes me wonder, for you listening,
Yeah.
what burning desires have driven your journey?
It's a great question.
What seemingly impossible obstacles have you overcome
I mean, everyone has them.
in the pursuit of those desires?
Absolutely. That's such a powerful question for self-reflection.
Yeah.
It leads us right into Hill's next principle, persistence.
Yes, persistent.
Hill really drives home the importance of sticking with it.
Yeah.
Even when you are face-to-face with setbacks.
You gonna have them?
He shares a story about Darby,
Okay.
who came agonizingly close,
Oh, no.
striking goal. Oh.
Only to give up just 3 feet from the vein.
Oh, so close.
Talk about heartbreaking.
Oh, that's devastating.
But that near miss, it became a crucible.
Okay.
It taught Darby the invaluable lesson of stickability,
I like that stickability.
which he later applied to build a successful career in insurance.
He took that lesson and applied it.
He did.
Wow.
And here's where things take a fascinating turn.
Okay.
Hill was so deeply moved by a story Darby told him
Oh,
about his uncle's encounter with a young black girl
interesting.
that he studied it for years.
Really?
Years. It's a powerful testament to the sheer force of a determined spirit.
Wow.
Darby's uncle, described as a strong, imposing man,
Okay.
was completely disarmed
Man.
by the unwavering resolve of this young girl
Wow.
who dared to stand up to him.
She stood up to him.
She did. The impact of this encounter was so profound that Darby felt compelled to share it with Hill.
Wow. It sparked a lifelong fascination
Really did.
with the power of a determined mind. For Hill, he saw this story as the embodiment of persistence in its purest form.
Wow.
A force so potent that it transcends age, social status, even physical strength.
That's incredible.
It really is.
It's like Hill is saying that when you combine burning desire with unwavering persistence,
Yeah.
you unlock this level of resilience that can overcome almost anything.
I think that's a great summary of that point.
Yeah, and that brings us to another cornerstone
Yes.
of Hill's philosophy,
Which is?
faith.
Faith.
He argues that faith isn't just this religious concept.
Right.
It's a state of mind,
A way of being.
a bedrock for success.
Absolutely. Hill believes that faith can be cultivated through the power of autosuggestion,
Autosuggestion.
convincing your subconscious mind to believe in the outcome you desire.
So you're convincing yourself.
You're aligning your thoughts
Okay.
with your desires.
Like that.
And to illustrate this, he shares a deeply personal story
Oh.
about his own son, who was born deaf.
Oh, wow.
Despite this challenge, Hill held this unshakable faith that his son would one day hear and speak.
He never gave up hope.
Never! He relentlessly instilled that belief in his son's mind.
Wow.
And remarkably, his son defied the odds.
It's incredible.
It really is a testament to the power of belief.
That story is incredibly moving.
It is.
It really speaks volumes about that power of unwavering belief
Yes.
to shape reality.
I can almost hear you thinking.
I know.
This is inspiring.
Really?
But what about practical skills and knowledge?
Yes, what about those things?
Don't those matter too?
Right, exactly. And you're right.
You are.
Hill doesn't discount the importance of specialized knowledge.
Precisely. He acknowledges that it is crucial.
Yeah.
But here's the key takeaway.
Okay.
You don't need to be a walking encyclopedia,
Not everything.
an expert in every single detail.
No.
Instead, focus on acquiring the knowledge that's directly relevant to your goals.
Okay.
He uses a fascinating example, the construction of the U.S. Steel Corporation.
Okay. Interesting.
It wasn't fueled by Charles Schwab's deep technical understanding of every facet of steel production,
Okay.
but by his vision and unwavering faith.
So he had the vision, but not necessarily all the knowledge.
Exactly. It's
Right.
like having a crystal clear picture of the skyscraper you want to build.
Yes.
And then assembling a team of architects, engineers, and construction workers,
Yeah.
each with the specialized knowledge
Right.
to make that vision a reality.
You bring in the experts.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
You, as the visionary, you don't need to be a master of every single detail.
All right. You don't need to know everything.
From steel fabrication to concrete pouring.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is where the fascinating realm of imagination enters the picture.
Imagination. Okay.
Hill makes a clear distinction between two types,
Okay. Two types.
synthetic and creative.
So there's synthetic imagination and creative imagination.
Exactly.
All right. Tell me about them.
Synthetic imagination, as Hill describes it, it's like a chef crafting a new dish. They take familiar ingredients, existing concepts, and ideas.
So they're working with what they know.
They are,
Okay.
and they're combining them in a novel way.
So new combinations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But creative imagination, well, that's a whole other ballgame.
Okay.
Hill positions creative imagination as the ability to tap into what he calls infinite intelligence.
Infinite intelligence.
This wellspring of knowledge and inspiration
Okay.
that goes beyond the limits of our everyday experiences.
So beyond what we normally experience.
Way beyond.
Right.
He even shares this intriguing story
Oh.
about Dr. Elmer Gates,
Okay.
who designed a special invention room
An invention room. Wow.
to foster this type of creative thinking.
Wow, that's so interesting.
He was even paid to sit for ideas.
Really?
Imagine that.
Paid to just think.
To sit and think.
Wow.
Getting paid to just sit and think.
That's amazing.
Now, I know this might sound a little far
A
out,
little bit.
but Hill takes us even deeper down the rabbit hole
Oh boy. Deeper down the rabbit hole.
with his concept of the sixth sense.
The sixth sense. All right, let's hear about this.
This is where we venture into the more esoteric aspects of Hill's philosophy.
Okay.
He describes the sixth sense as an ability to access knowledge and insights
Okay.
that go beyond our five physical senses.
Beyond our five senses.
So that gut feeling, that flash of intuition,
That aha moment.
that moment of clarity that seemingly comes from nowhere.
Like it just pops into your head.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Hill even shares his personal experiences with what he calls his invisible counselors,
Invisible counselors.
a nightly imaginative exercise
Boy.
that seemed to have tangible effects in his waking life.
Wow. So he's saying there's this other dimension
There it is.
of knowledge and understanding
Yes.
available to us.
If we learn to tune in
To the sixth sense.
to that sixth sense.
To trust our intuition.
Exactly. And he provides some intriguing clues,
Okay. Blues.
breadcrumbs, if you will, on how to cultivate this faculty
Oh, I like that. Breadcrumbs.
through practices like visualization, meditation,
Oh, yeah.
and connecting with a mastermind group.
Ooh, mastermind group. That sounds interesting.
Oh, but that's a concept for another time.
Okay, we'll save that.
We will.
This is definitely some food for thought.
It is.
But before we get completely lost in the world of the metaphysical,
Right.
let's bring things back down to earth
Back to reality.
and address an experience that's universal.
Which is,
Fear. Hill devotes a significant portion of Think and Grow Rich
he does.
to understanding and ultimately conquering fear,
Fear is a big one.
which he sees as this massive roadblock
Huge roadblock.
on the path to success.
Absolutely. Hill meticulously breaks down fear,
He does.
identifying 6 basic fears that hold us back.
6 basic fears. Okay.
Of those, he argues that the fear of poverty
Fear of poverty.
and the fear of criticism are particularly potent,
Those are big ones.
often lurking in the shadows of our subconscious
Yeah.
and paralyzing us if we let them.
They can really hold us back.
Think about it. Fear of poverty can make us cling to a job that's sucking the life out of us,
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
while fear of criticism can keep our most brilliant ideas locked away,
Yeah.
preventing us from pursuing our passions.
So we don't put ourselves out there.
We don't.
Hill offers a powerful counterpoint
He does.
to the debilitating effects of fear
Okay.
with this poignant story
Interesting.
about a man on death row.
Wow. Okay.
This man, facing the ultimate fear,
Yeah.
found peace,
Really?
not through resistance,
Okay.
but through acceptance and decision.
Acceptance and decision.
He chose how he would face his final moments,
Wow.
finding a profound sense of liberation,
In the face of death.
even in the face of his mortality.
That's incredibly powerful.
It's a powerful reminder that even when confronted by our deepest fears,
Yeah.
we retain the power to choose our response.
We do.
And this brings us to Hill's final point
Okay.
for this part of our deep dive,
All right.
the danger of negativity,
Negativity.
both the kind that festers within us
Mm-hmm.
and the kind that bombards us
Extent.
from the outside world.
It's everywhere.
Hill calls it the devil's workshop.
The devil's workshop. Okay.
That insidious tendency we have to dwell on negative thoughts,
We all do it.
letting negativity infiltrate our minds and color our perceptions.
It can be so insidious.
He emphasizes the importance of protecting our minds
Protecting our minds.
from these influences,
Yeah.
just as we would protect our physical bodies from harm.
It's just as important.
Absolutely.
And he leaves us with this potent reminder.
Okay.
We have the power to choose what we focus on.
We do.
We can choose to ruminate on our fears, limitations, and perceived shortcomings.
Yeah.
Or we can consciously choose to focus on our goals or strengths
Right.
and the infinite possibilities that lie ahead.
So it's about choosing where we direct our attention.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this first part
Okay.
of our deep dive into Think and Grow Rich,
Think and grow rich.
I'm curious, what's resonated with you the most?
So much to unpack.
A particular story,
It's a good question.
a principle,
Yeah,
or maybe a whole new way of thinking about success.
absolutely.
I'd love to hear your thoughts.
What I find remarkable about Hill's work is how he just fearlessly tackles those complex and often controversial topics.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't shy away from delving into the nature of power, leadership.
It can be a touchy subject.
Yeah, even the delicate dance between employer and employee.
You're absolutely right. And in a world that's constantly shifting beneath our feet,
Right.
Hill's insights on leadership feel more relevant than ever.
I think so too.
He argues that the old school model of leadership by force
Yeah.
is becoming obsolete.
It's not really working anymore.
Yeah. Instead, he proposes a new model
Yeah.
built on cooperation, understanding,
More collaborative.
and a genuine concern
Yeah.
for the well-being of others.
It's a very different approach.
Almost like a leader as a shepherd,
Oh, I like that. A shepherd.
guiding the flock
Instead of driving it.
rather than driving it.
Exactly. Hill emphasizes that the most effective leaders inspire and empower.
Rather than command and control.
Yes. He places a high value on qualities like empathy, integrity,
Those are important.
and the ability to paint a shared vision that everyone can rally behind.
A shared vision, so important.
It is.
He even suggests that the Great Depression, with all its hardship and suffering,
Yeah.
was prolonged in part because of a lack of this new type of leadership,
Interesting.
as though the leaders of the time were clinging to outdated models.
They just couldn't adapt.
Yeah,
Yes. Hill believed the challenges of the Depression called for a fundamental shift in thinking,
a new way of
a
thinking.
move away from self-interest towards a more collaborative
Okay.
and compassionate approach to business and governance.
So like a more human-centered approach.
Exactly. Almost as if humanity itself was being called to evolve its approach to leadership.
Yeah, like we needed to level up as a species. It's like he's saying that true leadership isn't about dominating others,
Right.
but about serving a greater purpose.
Serving something bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
Precisely. And this idea of service extends beautifully
Oh, okay.
into Hill's perspective on how individuals can effectively market their personal services.
Marketing yourself. Okay.
He argues that the old notion of jobs is being replaced by a model of partnership,
Partnership. Interesting.
where both the employer and employee recognize their shared responsibility to serve the public good.
Wow, that's a really interesting concept.
It is. It's a shift.
That's a truly fascinating shift in perspective.
It is.
It's almost like elevating work
Elevating it.
from a transactional exchange
Yeah.
to a collaborative endeavor
With a higher purpose.
with a higher purpose.
Yes, and to navigate this new landscape.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Hill provides this meticulously detailed plan
Okay, a plan.
for marketing your services effectively.
Okay, I like it.
He underscores the importance of specialized knowledge.
Okay, specialized knowledge.
Thorough planning.
So you have to have a plan.
You do.
Got it.
And an unwavering commitment to delivering genuine value.
So you have to be committed to providing value.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He even provides step-by-step instructions on how to craft a compelling brief.
A brief, like a resume or something?
Kinda, but more focused.
Okay.
That showcases your skills and experience
Okay.
in a way that resonates with potential partners.
So it's tailored to what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Oh, it's about crafting a personal brand that highlights your strengths and the unique value you bring to the table.
Exactly.
It's like saying, here's who I am, here's what I excel at, and here's how I can contribute to your success.
I love that. It's a perfect summary.
And speaking of value,
Yeah.
Hill doesn't shy away from tackling the often charged topic of money head on.
Money, money, money.
He provides a nuanced analysis of the role of capital in modern society,
Okay.
recognizing its potential for both good and evil.
It can be both.
It can be both.
Hill acknowledges that capital, when wisely and ethically managed,
Right.
can be a tremendous force for progress and innovation.
It can be used for good.
It fuels research, it creates jobs,
Yeah.
and has the potential to uplift the lives of millions.
It can really make a difference.
It's like the fertile soil
I like that.
from which countless possibilities can sprout.
Yeah, like it can be the foundation for something really amazing.
Exactly.
But he also cautions against the dangers of greed and exploitation,
Right, there's a dark side.
urging readers to approach the use of capital with responsibility and ethical awareness.
It's about using it wisely.
So it's not just about making money, it's about how you make it and
Exactly.
how you use it.
Right, he's essentially saying that the pursuit of wealth should never come at the expense of others
Right.
or the well-being of society as a whole.
It's about the bigger picture.
He emphasizes the importance of operating within the bounds of what he calls the law of economics,
Law of economics. Okay.
which dictates that true wealth is created through the exchange of value.
So it's about giving and receiving value.
It is
It's like he's reminding us that money is ultimately a tool.
a tool.
And like any tool, it can be used for constructive or destructive purposes.
Absolutely.
It all boils down to the intentions and values of the person wielding it,
The person behind the tool.
the person behind the money.
And it's not just material wealth that Hill explores.
Oh, there's more.
He delves into the often overlooked power of the subconscious mind,
The subconscious mind.
suggesting that it plays this pivotal role in shaping our reality,
Oh, wow.
as if our thoughts and beliefs are the architects of our experiences.
Our thoughts create our reality.
In a way, they do.
This is where things get truly intriguing.
They do.
Hill argues that the subconscious mind is a powerful force that can work for us or against us,
It's a double-edged sword.
depending on how we engage with it.
Right. He explains that it's constantly absorbing thoughts and beliefs,
Like a sponge.
both positive and negative, from our environment and from our own internal dialogue.
So it's taking in
But
everything.
it is. And he emphasizes that we have the power to influence our subconscious mind
We do.
through practices like autosuggestion and visualization.
So we can actually train our subconscious?
We can, almost like we're planting seeds in the garden of our subconscious.
I like that analogy.
And those seeds will ultimately determine the kind of harvest we reap.
So we reap what we sow, basically.
Exactly.
So if we're constantly feeding our subconscious mind with thoughts of fear, lack, and limitation,
Yeah.
guess what? Those are the seeds that will take root and shape our experiences.
You will.
But if we choose to cultivate thoughts of abundance, confidence, and boundless possibility,
Yes.
those are the seeds that will blossom into a reality that reflects our highest aspirations.
That's the goal.
It's about consciously choosing the narrative that shapes our lives.
It is. We have more control than we think.
It's as though we have the power to rewrite the script of our reality by choosing the thoughts and beliefs that we allow to take center stage.
I love that analogy.
And Hill even takes this a step further
He does.
by introducing the concept of the sixth sense,
The sixth sense.
which he describes as an intuitive faculty that allows us to tap into a higher level of knowledge and understanding.
It's going beyond the rational mind.
It's like he's suggesting that we have this inner compass, a source of wisdom
An inner knowing.
that goes beyond the realm of our five senses.
It's hard to explain, but it's there.
Exactly.
He shares fascinating anecdotes about individuals who seem to possess this uncanny ability
Okay.
to access information that defied logical explanation.
Like they just knew things.
They did. Inventors who had sudden flashes of insight. Artists who channeled inspiration from a source beyond themselves.
Like they were tapping into something bigger.
They were.
Wow.
And even business leaders who made seemingly impossible decisions that turned out to be brilliant strokes of genius.
Like they could see the future.
It's like they tapped into this universal stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
A reservoir of knowledge and creativity that's available to all of us.
Okay.
If we learn how to access it.
So we all have this potential.
We do.
And Hill suggests that this sixth sense, this intuitive faculty,
Yeah.
can be cultivated through practices like meditation, visualization,
Those are powerful practices.
and connecting with a mastermind group,
There it is again, the mastermind.
which we'll dive into more deeply later on.
We will.
It's like training our minds to become more receptive to these subtle whispers of intuition,
To listen to that inner voice.
to trust that inner voice
Yes.
that often speaks to us in moments of quiet reflection.
It's always there. We just have to learn to hear it.
And Hill also emphasizes that fear can be a major obstacle to developing this intuitive faculty.
Fear blocks us.
He argues that fear creates mental blocks that prevent us from accessing our full potential,
It closes us off.
almost like we're building walls around our hearts and minds that keep us from experiencing the fullness of who we truly are.
We limit ourselves.
Which brings us back to the importance of understanding and overcoming our fears,
It always comes back to fear.
a topic that Hill addresses with both profound insight and deep compassion.
He does.
He identifies 6 basic fears
6 fears.
that commonly plague humankind,
We all have them.
each of which can have a debilitating effect on our lives and our ability to achieve our goals.
They can really hold us back.
The first, and perhaps most pervasive fear, is the fear of poverty.
Fear of poverty.
It's a fear that's deeply ingrained in our collective psyche,
We've been conditioned to fear it.
stemming from centuries of scarcity and competition for resources.
It's part of our history.
It can manifest as a fear of lack, a fear of failure,
Those are big ones.
or a general sense of insecurity about our financial well-being.
It can be so pervasive.
It's like a shadow that follows us, whispering doubts and anxieties about our ability to provide for ourselves and our loved ones.
That constant worry.
And this fear, Hill suggests, can be especially paralyzing because it can prevent us from taking risks, pursuing our passions,
We play it safe.
or even believing that we deserve abundance.
We don't believe we're worthy.
It's as though we're trapped in a cage of our own making,
A cage of our own beliefs.
limited by beliefs that we may not even realize are holding us back.
We don't even know what's happening. As we move into this final part of our deep dive into Think and Grow Rich, let's explore one of the most intriguing concepts Hill introduces. The mastermind. He believed that no one truly achieves great success in isolation, host speaker. It really does take a village. It does. We all need support, guidance, and inspiration along the way, host speaker. The mastermind is a concept that really captures the imagination. It's one of the most talked about and perhaps misunderstood aspects of Hill's philosophy. So let's demystify it. What exactly is a mastermind, and how does it actually work in practice? A mastermind, at its core, is a group of like-minded individuals who come together in a spirit of harmony and collaboration to achieve a common goal. Hill argues that this alliance of minds creates a powerful synergy, amplifying the strengths and creativity of each individual within the group host speaker. So it's not just about having a group of smart people in a room, it's about the energy and dynamic that's created when those minds connect and work together toward a shared purpose. Precisely, Hill believed that the mastermind principle operates on the idea that thoughts are a form of energy when multiple minds are focused on a shared objective. Their combined energy creates a powerful force that can overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles and achieve extraordinary results, host speaker. It's like focusing multiple lasers onto a single point, creating a beam of energy that's far more powerful than any of the individual lasers could produce on their own. That's a great way to visualize it. Hill even suggests that this principle operates on a psychic level, where the minds of the individuals in the group become linked in a way that transcends physical limitations. It's like tapping into a collective intelligence, a wellspring of creativity and inspiration that's far greater than the sum of its parts, host speaker. This is where it gets really interesting. Hill provides some pretty compelling historical examples of how the mastermind principle has been used to achieve groundbreaking results. He points to the example of the American founding fathers who came together in a spirit of collaboration and shared purpose to create a new nation. Imagine the energy and intellectual firepower present in those rooms as they debated and shaped the very foundations of a country host speaker. It's inspiring to think about the power of a group of minds united by a common vision, and Hill doesn't stop there. He also cites the success of industrial giants like Henry Ford and Andrew Carnegie, who surrounded themselves with brilliant minds and forged powerful partnerships that helped them to build their empires. These weren't just casual gatherings of friends. These were intentional alliances, carefully curated groups of individuals who brought complementary skills, knowledge, and perspectives to the table host speaker. So we're serious about achieving great things. It sounds like we need to be intentional about cultivating our own mastermind groups. But where do we even begin? What are the key principles for building a successful mastermind alliance? Hill outlines several essential elements that are crucial for creating a mastermind group that truly thrives host speaker. Okay, let's break those down. What's the first key principle? First and foremost, the group needs a clear and defined purpose. The members need a shared understanding of what they're trying to achieve and why it matters. Without that shared purpose, the group lacks direction and focus, host speaker. It's like setting out on a journey without a destination in mind. You might end up somewhere interesting, but you're unlikely to reach your full potential. The second principle is harmony and alignment. The members of the group need to be compatible in terms of their values, beliefs, and aspirations. It's about creating an environment of mutual respect, trust, and support where everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas and perspectives openly and honestly, host speaker. So it's not just about finding people who are intelligent or successful, it's about finding people who resonate with you on a deeper level, who share your vision for the world, and who you can trust to support you on your journey. Absolutely. The third principle is a willingness to contribute and collaborate. Each member needs to be committed to bringing their unique skills, knowledge, and resources to the table, and to be open to learning from and supporting the other member's host speaker. It's about recognizing that everyone has something valuable to offer and that the group's success depends on the contributions of each individual. It's a true synergy where the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. And finally, a successful mastermind group needs a commitment to regular meetings and open communication. The group needs to meet consistently to share ideas, provide feedback, hold each other accountable, and celebrate each other's successes. It's about creating a rhythm and structure that keeps the group moving forward toward its goals while also fostering a sense of camaraderie and support, host speaker. It's about creating a space where vulnerability is welcomed, feedback is constructive, and everyone feels empowered to share their authentic selves. It sounds like a powerful combination of accountability and encouragement. Hill believed that the mastermind principle is one of the most potent tools for achieving success in any area of life. He encourages readers to actively seek out and cultivate relationships with individuals who can help them grow, learn, and reach their full potential, host speaker. It's like assembling a dream team of mentors, advisors, and collaborators who can support and challenge you to become the best version of yourself. As we wrap up our deep dive into Think and Grow Rich, I'd like to leave you with a final thought to ponder. Hill reminds us that success is not something that simply happens to us, it's something we actively create through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, host speaker. It's about taking ownership of our destinies, recognizing that we have the power to shape our realities through the choices we make every single day. He urges us to dream big, to embrace risk, and to surround ourselves with a mastermind group that can help us to transform those dreams into tangible realities, host speaker. So as you go out into the world, remember that you have within you the power to achieve anything you set your mind to. Don't be afraid to step into your greatness, to trust your intuition, and to build a network of support that will empower you to reach heights you never thought possible. For more such content, go to our channel, Pages and Perspectives. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and press the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thank you for joining us.